Yeah, it's not coming up. I am not sure why.
Well, I just checked to make sure that it was going to the right page, and it is. It says right there, focused idea is now live.
Yeah, but why it's not coming up on your page? Oh, there you
But
go. There you go.
it's showing the wrong thing, so that's not the right title.
No, no, no.
We can talk about the top 20 things.
You can't change the title on the go.
No, that was
Now I see
from,
it.
that was from yesterday. Did you find it? Did you finally see it?
Yeah, I see it now. It says live, so I guess I have to go back and adjust the title because now I see it. Yeah.
The top 20 things. I can hear you. I can hear me.
Yeah, because I played the video. It was on your focus idea.
Gotcha. Let's change the description. How about?
Yeah.
What do we decide? What do we decide to call it?
Well, the discussion going to be the title, which is the 5 reasons why live streaming is so important.
This is why right here.
Yeah, there you go. Right?
Oh, this is awesome. This is what we're all about. Okay, so I changed it. All right, cool. So this is what live streaming is all about, kind of doing things on the fly, quite literally.
Yeah, and that should inspire other people because it doesn't have to be perfect. All it matters is that you need to start.
It doesn't have to be perfect.
Yeah.
You just have to get on and start doing it. Okay. So what should we talk about? We should talk about reason number 1. You want to put your
Let me share this on my page. And before we talk about the reason, let's talk about what you know the importance of live streaming didn't start right now. I mean, this thing been
talk about why we're late.
Yeah, since 2015.
Well, you know, it's 14-13, but you know, whatever.
Right.
We're late because we're learning new technology. And one of the key things in playing with new technology is to test it before you play with it. You know your tools. Actually, I worked with this yesterday, Yusuf, and it worked really well.
Yeah.
So I don't know why it was hanging up today, but whatever. Actually, I think I know why. Because I actually had a video scheduled and I was going to shoot it. So we were talking about Restream earlier.
Yeah.
And, you know, Restream, you can pre-record your videos and then schedule them to go out later.
Yeah.
So actually what I was doing yesterday was I was going to do a series of videos and have them scheduled. And I think what happened was that scheduling overlapped this video. And that's what happened. So guess what?
That's interesting. That's interesting.
Lesson learned. And Be Live, which is what we're using right now, doesn't allow for that to be scheduled out. At least with the license that I have. I think there is one license that you can schedule things and actually post them in the future.
Yeah, I've been testing. Like I used Be Live a while back when they came out first.
Yeah.
But back then, I think they didn't have the sharing, the screen, or any of those options. But they didn't improve right now. But I've been testing with Restream, StreamYard. I'm looking into Switchboard and Caster. But what I really like right now, it's the Ecom for Mac and the Restream. The cool thing about the Ecom is not a web-based. It's like an application you download it to your machine and use it. It's super fast, has a lot of cool features, and the quality of the feed that goes out is very good because it's an application coming from your laptop and not like a web-based. So we can talk about those things too in terms of like, you know, for people that want to go live, what are some of the steps they need to try, correct? But let's get back to the subject. I mean, since you brought up this interesting subject here about the 5 reasons why live streaming is important, so would you like to go through some of those points?
Sure. Reason number one. Live TV reinvented. So back in the olden days, before you or I were even alive,
Yeah.
TV was like all done live, and you could see the screw ups and the mess ups and the mistakes and all that.
Yeah.
And now it's like really a novel thing to have a live TV program. But when you're doing live streaming, it's not novel at all because you can make the mistakes and they're live. So
Yeah.
kind of like what we've already done today, made the mistakes. But the cool thing about making mistakes is you can learn from the mistakes.
Yes.
So,
Well, you're absolutely correct. I agree with you. You can learn from the mistake, but at the same time, it shows you the human element. You try to humanize, like it happens. So you don't have to be. That's another point that I want to make about this subject here is that mistakes happens no matter what, and this should inspire you because it doesn't have to be perfect, right? Initially.
It doesn't have to be perfect, and that's the awesome thing because I don't know how many mistakes we've already made with this thing playing around, but it's okay.
Yeah.
So quit harping on the mistakes. As long as you learn from them, you're 100% right. It's like you don't have to be perfect. Just hop on, talk about something. One of the things that people talk to me about or ask me about is like, well, I don't have anything to talk about. Nobody wants to listen to what I have to say.
And don't be surprised.
Yeah, at least one other person wants to hear what you have to say. So yeah, and other cool thing with in reason number one is that the content is forever. It lasts forever. So you've got that flexibility, right, to come and watch it whenever you feel like watching it.
Yes, because what you're actually doing right now is you are building your digital footprint. And the fact that people can see you live, like the way you talk, the way you speak, right? That means when they meet in person, oh, it's the same guy or it's the same lady, right? So there's some sort of connectivity, like that makes the connection much easier than looking at your picture with a point or a note, or a quote. Makes sense? Well,
Exactly.
Okay. That's why the face-to-face communication always works. You know that in selling and business, that always works because of that human element, right?
You're talking about point number 3, right?
Oh, really? That's awesome. Good. So that's why the number one that Brian mentioned is true. I mean, it's reinvented. I mean, and not just that. I like how Brian put this subject, the live TV, because if you want to go to the so-called local TV station or the mainstream media, I mean, it's so hard for you to be on their show because they have regulations and rules and whatnot. But now, in social media, you have access to all your followers, first of all, and now you can just start your own like live TV.
You totally can. What was it? There was a channel years ago when this whole live streaming thing first launched. And I don't remember what it was called. It was something .tv. Justin TV. Justin.tv.
Yeah, that's very old. Yeah, man. Wow.
Wow, that's like MySpace old.
Yes, yes. I don't think I've
Gary Vaynerchuk. I was listening to him a couple of days ago, probably a couple of weeks ago. Gary Vaynerchuk's kind of gotten annoying to me. I don't listen to him as much anymore.
You gotta hustle, man. You gotta hustle. You gotta hustle, man. So what the hustle life?
And got to go to garage sales and things like that and buy coffee cups.
Yeah.
But that's when he started his wine TV. Was on Justin TV.
Yeah.
Back in the olden days. So yeah, so it's like live TV, but it's completely it's different now because you can actually interact with people.
Mm-hmm.
So let's pop into number 2. Let's see what number 2 comes up to. Beyond live TV. Hey, look, level of interaction and engagement that it offers. people can actually interact if they wanted to, if they could chat and text and talk and ask questions. Nobody's texting and talking right now, but that's okay.
Hey, it's a lunchtime. They're probably busy eating.
Depends on what time zone you're in too, right?
Yeah.
They're probably they're all out social distancing together.
Yeah. No, maybe they're like socializing using FaceTime and maybe Facebook Messengers. You never know.
This is true, which is also live streaming. So, but let's bring it back to what we really have to deal with, though. I mean, because I deal with business people all the time, so live streaming for individuals, okay, that's all good and fine, and they've all got their messages and stuff. But what about from a business perspective, Yusuf? And how a business owner, like some of my biggest clients are cancer care centers. What would you suggest, or how would you suggest they do streaming from these first two topics without going into the human aspect or expanding or anything like that? Because we'll talk about that more too.
Super easy for the for the especially for the cancer. I mean, super easy. All I have to do, Q&A session, frequently asked question, 10-minute frequently asked question, or maybe an expert, a medical doctor, or professional can just come live. You can announce it on the social. If you have a list of subscribers, you can let them know around this day, this time. You can have an open discussion or a Q&A session or a case studies or research document about, for the that's a great opportunity, because now that's what people are doing right now. They're either watching stuff on YouTube or Netflix, or even live streaming on the social channels, so that's a great opportunity for them to do that, so they can still engage with their audience.
Yep, and still build credibility, build value within their communities, especially right now, since nobody can really get out and do things technically. They can share that information, and like you said, people can share their questions, and then the doctors or staff or whatever can actually answer those directly.
Correct.
What kind of companies would you be working with that like, how about a chiropractor or a roofing company or something like that? Same kind of ideas?
For the roofing company, be a little bit different, because for the roofing company, what they can do behind the scene, because I have some of my roofing clients that they're still getting leads, believe it or not, right? So they can do behind the scene. They can explain certain things about, how to do the roofing the proper way, how it can help you save energies and whatnot. They can do stuff like that, because that's very, interesting, especially like in power washer and carpet cleaning, concrete cleaning. Those stuff is very fun to watch, right? So now we utilize the live streaming to show, behind, like the before and after. It's like a live and actual work. Make sense?
Sure.
For the chiropractor, most of them going to be like, advise on how to keep your, body intact and healthy, with healthy either supplements or what do you call it?
Sitting up correctly.
Yeah, setting up, and when you go live, how you're supposed to be, right? And they can, because for example, a lot of fitness trainers, almost all of them that I know, do live streaming with all their customers. So the customer all jump in through Zoom and they all work out. Same thing with the yoga. In fact, if you look at YouTube now, they're running a hashtag on YouTube. It says "Stay Home #with me." So YouTube basically created this like a playlist of everything about food, making food at home, all the videos about making food. Then you have all the videos about workout and all the videos about DJing or music. Okay, so they put that kind of stuff. In fact, they're also getting involved with educational stuff, for children, for school. Yeah.
Yeah, and again, staying within beyond the whole live TV thing, is you've got the interactivity and stuff going on between the instructors and the students or the participants or whoever's watching the video too. Yeah. That's pretty cool. I didn't know that with YouTube. That's pretty smart. That's pretty smart. Are we good here? Do we want to go to the next?
Let's go to third reasons.
Number 3.
Risks.
Bam.
There you go. as I
what you wanted to talk about. The human aspect.
The human aspect, yes. That connection, the best connection, it's either face to face, because you can see the fresh expression, you can hear the voice of the person, and when you ask, there's a quick interaction. The same connection can happen in real life, so it makes it stronger, right? And like Brian was mentioning in the beginning, how sometimes we make mistake. That mistake part is actually what builds authenticity, because you're not faking it, right?
Absolutely.
It just happens. So that's and if you when you go live and make those mistakes, and don't say and don't say I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, don't say all the time, but people can notice that you're trying, and that's what makes it unique.
Yeah, for sure. That's a key point. The whole authenticity part of it, and being somebody who's professional in this whole digital marketing world. Yeah, we still make mistakes and we still figure things out and break them and whatnot. And that was kind of what Yusuf and I were talking about before we even came on. Was let's see how we can break this thing.
Yeah, that's how we do it.
Out of the gate, from the very beginning, it's like, well, we're live. Well, I'm showing that I'm live.
Yeah, we always like to break stuff.
Yeah, well, mix-ups happen. You know what that says? Don't have more than one page named the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah, and this is a good thing, because if other people that never tried live streaming, and if they see that somebody who is in this niche and they're struggling, that should inspire them and not discourage them.
Yeah.
So.
Sure. Or any niche industry. That's what one of my notes says, is let's people be human and be real, mistakes and all.
Yeah, because the first step, they're all gonna make mistakes, because we all did it, right?
Yeah,
and
sure.
They should make a mistake.
Back in the olden days, when I started with network marketing back in '97, somewhere around there. Yeah, I'm old, Yusuf. If I let my hair, honestly, if I let my hair grow, you could tell my age.
What? Okay.
Yeah,
right.
This is the color of my shirt.
Yeah.
But that's what people always said, or the main people would always say is, yeah, the only difference between you and me right now and where you are and where I am with what I've got and all that, the only difference is time.
Yeah.
You put in the same effort, or as Grant Cardone would say, 10 times the effort, you can lapse that time space, right? Because those of us who have been around doing this kind of thing forever, we've already made the mistakes, or the majority of mistakes. There will be more mistakes made, but learn from the mistakes that people in your industry make, or even people who are professional doing this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Learn from those and go, okay, well, there was a screw up, but now if I can learn from that, I don't have to do the same thing.
Right.
So, yeah. Okay. Cool. You want to talk more about it, or do we want to move to the next thing?
That's all I got.
We're done with being human?
That's all I got.
Expand your reach as a brand or an individual. So what do you think? Platforms prefer live content? Yes, no? Platforms
right now, that's an excellent question. Of course, you can expand the reach, but right now, ever since Periscope, which is the live streaming social media app that came in 2015, what happened?
You're a fan of Periscope.
Yeah, I still love it, man. I still use it. So when Periscope came into the scene, and Periscope wasn't the only one, because Meerkat was before Periscope, if you remember.
Right.
But what made Periscope popular, that when Twitter bought them for like $300 million, that's what created the buzz, because every time you go live on Periscope, it shoots the feed on Twitter, and Twitter has a lot of public reach, right?
Yeah.
So once Periscope started to become very popular and fans start to use, created their own conference and events and whatnot, then Facebook got into the live streaming. Then YouTube adjusted their Google Hangout to YouTube app, where you can also stream from there. And now I think there's more than like 10, 15 live streaming apps, like, Hang With, My Eye, Nomad. There are like tons of them out there. Okay, so that was becoming very popular. And when it comes to the expansion right now, so Facebook is still number one because almost 2 billion people on the planet.
Yeah.
YouTube owned by Google, that's also very powerful. And guess what? You already know this, Brian, because LinkedIn added the live streaming option as well. But you have to apply and get the approval, which is a lengthy process. I didn't get it yet. Come on, LinkedIn, right? So they're also getting into it. And so that's the reach from that perspective, from the platform perspective. Yes, you have a wider reach, but from a strategic point of view, you can take that live streaming video, right, put it on your blog, or you can upload it to YouTube with, if you want to cut the all the other stuff, edit
Yeah.
it a little bit, upload it to YouTube. Then you can post it on your blog, have a transcript of that content, and share them on multiple social channels, a wider reach. Make
Yeah.
sense? Even when somebody watches the YouTube live streaming or Facebook live streaming or Periscope and whatnot, your audience is going to share it. So again, it reaches out different places. And
Yeah.
guess
For
what?
sure.
I get requests to give a talk for an event and give workshop just because of live streaming.
Yep. Yeah. Well, weren't you the Mac Daddy over at South by Southwest last year
Yeah, absolutely.
from doing live streams?
Yeah, yeah, it was good. It was good. Yeah, like not this time. I was like, it's funny because this time they didn't invite me. Okay, I guess it's not gonna happen. But suddenly, oh, okay, it's not gonna happen.
Karma.
Yeah,
Karma. They should have
there you go.
invited
Yeah. Because last year I
you.
was trying to Yusufy them, but this year I'm like, nah, okay, that's good for me.
That's funny.
Yeah,
Um, what was it? You said something that I was thinking, but I don't remember. Should have written down my thought.
yeah. Well,
Um,
you did remind me of one thing though, with the expanding your reach. One of the beautiful thing is that if you understand how social media algorithm works, mostly depends on engagement. So what does engagement mean to these social channels? Let's say for Facebook, engagement to them means people are commenting, sharing, and liking, right?
mhm.
So if you add a post of an image or a text, it depends on your popularity and how good you are in your content and how closer are your audience. There can be some sort of conversation going to happen. But the thing with the live streaming, the viewership, it's more than the regular post, because anybody comes into your live streaming, even if they spend 5 minutes, they'll leave another one comment, right?
Yeah.
And the engagement level in terms of questioning and commenting, it is like 10 times higher than the regular post. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even if you record a video and upload it directly to Facebook or YouTube, still you're not going to get as much engagement as you are going to get on the live streaming.
Right. Because it's live. Yeah. And my text thing isn't over here cooperating, but at the top of the screen, it's telling me that they're really, really busy, that this platform is really busy and that they're overloaded with using their bandwidth. So that might be why we're not getting texts.
Okay, that's fine.
I don't know. It is fine. And
It
that's
is
okay.
fine because people can watch the replay.
People can watch the
Right?
replay. People can watch the replay, still make comments, still tag sections within the video, and
Yes.
you and I can still respond to those comments later.
Yes.
So that's part of the cool thing with being able to do video too. It's there forever. It's not just there, just for while it's live. It's actually could be there for ever and a day, however long you want to keep it there.
Yeah. And plus, you can repurpose it.
What's that?
You can also repurpose it. Like,
yeah. Oh, that's what you were saying. That's what you were saying. That's what got me. Was when you were talking about doing things on YouTube and splicing it and doing all that stuff. That's why I like video so much. Even if you don't use the video, you still have audio from it. You can still get it transcribed and have all your text from it. And now there's all this other, all of these other things you can use and totally repurpose it. You could do ebooks. You could do podcasts. Yeah, absolutely. You can do quick tip kind of things.
You can also turn it into blog post, transcribe it, turn it to blog post.
Blog
Unique
post.
content. Yeah.
You can take text out of content too a little bit and put it on your images and all of that stuff. So yeah, it's best way to go, which kind of segues into this as far as being the fastest growing industry. What do I have over here? Video streaming market is worth more than $30 billion, and it's expected to be worth more than $70 billion by 2021. Wow. What that tells me is everybody who has a business should start doing live streams. You're not too late.
Right.
Just because somebody else already does it doesn't mean there's not room for you too.
You're absolutely correct. And here's another thing. When you create a, let's say, professional video, which is also important, if you shoot a regular video, might take like an hour. Yeah. Then it might take several hours to edit, post-production. It might take another hour for upload, depends on the size of the file and whatnot. So you're going to spend probably, let's just say hypothetically, 10 hours just to produce one video, right? It's time consuming. But with live streaming, you just go live and you're done.
So Yusuf, since you bring that up, which do you think is better, or do you think there should be a mix of doing live and actual production?
That is an excellent question. I would say it depends on your business, because in some businesses, recorded videos are needed, like, tutorials or maybe 5-minute, 10-minute kind of click, so it depends on the market. So I wouldn't say ditch the recorded video. I'm just sharing that picture for beginners, that if you start with the live streaming, it is much easier and time efficient, because it's not going to require you to do a lot of work, except for bringing that amazing content and going live, and you're done, right? So some businesses, some companies have the team to produce and edit and upload, which is also great. Right. But now we're talking about from practical point of view for some people, not for everybody, Yeah.
And you're right. I mean, some people could benefit from both. Some people benefit from one more than the other too. So it just depends on what your audience is. You did say something about incredible content. Amazing content. So just because you're in a business that, I don't know, people might not think is fascinating. I don't know why this just popped into my head, but I was thinking like porta potty people, the guys who own the porta potties.
Yeah.
Huge business, huge industry.
Yeah.
And where they're looking at it going, well, why would anybody find this fascinating? But that would be a great live video streaming kind of industry, right?
Yeah, I think that agency, they wrote a book about it. Did you get a copy of that book?
Who?
For the party, the party whatever thing, that ad. Do you remember? The same company, the same agency actually wrote a book talking about the success of how their ad generated millions and millions of followers, and how the company did like in sales and millions of dollars and whatnot. But that agency, or the main guy behind the ad itself, wrote a book about it.
Right. Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, there's actually teaching other agencies, to get some ideas. You know what I mean? Because the subject of content, a lot of so-called expert out there, when they tell small businesses, startup, put some content. But the question is, you have to ask the audience, what does content mean?
Yeah. What is content?
Right. Like really, what is content? So content, the way I explain it, and I'm doing my best to simplify it because English is not my first language. Okay. So the content is something.
I thought Texan was. Don't you speak Texan?
Yeah, I'm from Texas, y'all. So so like something is beneficial to your ideal customer, target audience. And how would I know it's beneficial? By doing some research. And what is the research? Find out what are they asking. Find out if I'm, for example, a yoga instructor, I know what are the challenges and the issues that my customer go through. I can address those, for example, right? You know what I mean? So I'm going to show them and teach them something that they are going to benefit from it. Or they have questions, I'm going to answer those questions for them. That's valuable. That's beneficial. right? Even sharing something, I don't know, grumpy cat with me, I'm falling from third floor upside down. I don't know if that's funny, but maybe that's funny and people are going to laugh at it. That's valuable for them. Make sense? But from a business point of view, when I say valuable content, I'm talking about content that will attract your target audience. They're going to be educated and they're going to build a trust between you and them. Okay. And they become your customer. They're going to buy your product and services and whatnot.
Right. See the little cool little trick I have here?
Yeah, I like it. I love it. I was like, yeah, that was
Oh,
nice. So that's what content is very important. And if most businesses know what they like, what they offer, but they also have to research and find out what their customers are asking. You know, the educational part is very important because people go to Google and Bing to look for answers, right?
right.
So if you find out what are they asking for, let me be that person to educate them and provide the answer so I can become the expert, right? So that's what valuable content is, a content that benefits your audience, that answers their questions, that puts some positive effects on their lives and business and whatnot.
Right. How about this? Let's do this really quick. What about where do you think people should go to get content ideas? Because all the content is already written, right?
Yeah.
If you go to the self-help industry, all the books tell you the same thing.
Yes.
From 100 years ago, they say the same thing that they say right now.
Yeah.
So where do people go to get content? You have your ideas, I have mine. Let's see what
Okay. Excellent question.
Bam.
All right. So to answer that question, I have tons. Okay. But let me give you something practical. What I mean by that, something you can do it. The most easiest place in the first place. Huh? What happened? Yeah. The most easiest first step or place I would recommend anybody is when you go to Google search. So let's take the example of the yoga person, right? I'm going to Google. I'm going to type for, let's say, if I'm the customer, I'm going to type for best yoga in my town or best yoga near me, for example, right? Or just type the word yoga and see what kind of results shows up on Google. That's the simplest way.
Yeah.
The second, yeah, that's the simplest way. The second simple.
So building on that, though, here's a trick that a lot of people don't know: is if they go to the bottom of the page after doing their initial search, if they go down to the bottom, there's also a list of like 10 or 15 other things that say, other related searches.
Yes, I was about to go there, but you.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Good. So the first thing is, just like Brian said, the first thing you go to Google. And also, if you notice in Google, when you tap anything, there's something called autocomplete. That means Google will show you a list of other popular search terms that the audience type. That's another idea. The third idea, when you scroll down, there's another new box that says people also ask. That's another information. Okay. Then the last one, what Brian said, it says, people also searching. Okay. So this is the simplest way because you don't have to use a premium tool, anything like that. So that's the one tip in terms of how to get idea. I got a few more. The second tip is if you can use this free plugin, it's called Keyword Everywhere. Okay.
Keyword Everywhere.
Yeah, it's called Keyword, I believe, Everywhere. It's an awesome, I believe, Chrome and Firefox extension. So the cool thing with Keyword Everywhere, once you do a search for any term on your right-hand side, Keyword Everywhere will pop with more options all together, and you can download it in Excel sheet. Okay, and it's free. Okay.
Really good.
Yeah, and it's free. It comes for Chrome extension and Firefox. It's really, really good for you to kind of find out what other, search terminologies my ideal audience are searching for online. Okay.
Let's correct that. It's keywords with an
Yeah.
S.
Oh, sorry. It's keywordseverywhere.com. Yeah, check it out, guys. Keywordseverywhere.com is free. It's not going to cost you anything. Okay. So far, we good? That was
Yeah,
tip number 2, right? All right.
yeah,
Tip number 3.
a couple more. Yeah.
Yeah. Tip number 3. This is one of my favorite website because this website, technically, it's attached to the Google's people also ask database, and it's called
I
answerthepublic.com.
love that. I like the picture of the dude always looking like he's perturbed because you're not asking the question yet.
Yeah, I used to like the old guy with the glasses. I don't know where did he go.
I like him. He was my favorite.
You know what I mean? So the cool thing about Answer the Public, if you type any keyword, Answer the Public will give you the most popular question that your audience are asking within that niche, from where to how to what to near, all kinds of. So you're going to end up getting 80 questions to 200 questions, and you can download them. And there you go. Those are ideas for your topic, ideas for figuring out what your customer looking for, right? So that was tip number 3. Tip number 4, and this is something we all do.
I'm going to pop over to Answer the Public really quick.
Yeah, go ahead and share the Answer the Public.
Yeah, there it is. It's on the screen right now.
There you go.
So
that's Answer the Public.
Let's type in
the word yoga. Yep.
You want to do yoga? Let's do yoga.
Yeah, it's the easiest one. 3, only like 4 letters.
Yeah.
Or 3 letters. Yoga.
Let's see how quickly it pulls up. So here's yoga pulling up. This is what I think is great because
oh my God.
It gives you all your questions. Are yoga blocks necessary? Are yoga wheels worth it? Are yoga socks good?
Right.
What yoga mat to buy? So if you're a yoga instructor, this is fantastic because now you've got all your content questions.
Yep.
Here are other, yoga can reduce stress.
Mm-hmm.
Yoga to lose weight, yoga to do at home. Hey, funny, yoga right now to do at home would probably be a good idea. Yoga or Pilates? Yoga or Pilates for runners? So it's actually pretty cool because it actually creates the questions for you.
Yes.
And it also, there's a whole list. It gives you a list of prepositions and all these other things as well.
Right.
So yeah.
I think we're gonna. So when it comes to the storage, those are the. I'm hitting myself. 1 second. Testing. So those are the 3 simple tips from the search. Now, because I want to give you something practical, guys, ladies, like something you can do, okay, without spending too much money. The second thing, the 4th tip is your own social channels. So when you join any Facebook groups or LinkedIn groups or even the conversation in Twitter, if you look at other live streaming shows, look at those questions, see what people are asking. So the social media channels itself is a place for you to get ideas.
Right. And that's what I was thinking earlier is go to people who have already produced the stuff that you want to produce.
Yep.
And copy them. I didn't say like cheat and copy verbatim, but
get inspired by it.
Yeah, get inspired by it. Take it, make it your own, twist it, and give it your own spin, your own personality, rather than copying and pasting it. Make it,
right.
Make it something that actually.
Yeah. I want to say plagiarize it. Okay, guys, we're talking about getting inspired.
And if you do plagiarize it, send me a private message, and I'll tell you some really cool. No, I'm kidding.
Plagiarize, 101, right?
Plagiarize, yeah, that's another topic for another time.
Yes. And even if you do plagiarize, one thing you have to do is give the credit where the credit is due. Just say what you got it from.
So here's the word. It's not plagiarizing if you give it credit, it's syndicating.
Ah, yes.
Right?
Absolutely. Yes.
That's a whole other conversation because today we were talking about live streaming and we did go off on a little bit of a tangent and I got to play with some tools here.
Yeah.
But it's cool. I'm glad we were able to do this. Go over some real basic stuff, which basic stuff's the most important things. You know, everybody always wants the advanced. What's the advanced tip? What's the tip that takes me above and beyond everybody else? Really, here's your advanced tip. Do the basic stuff and get really, really good at it.
You're correct.
Yeah.
You're correct. Because if you can't do the basic thing, why want to jump to like the highest stuff, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Because even like we said at the beginning, I screwed up from the very beginning.
Yeah, we know. We're laughing at it.
This is basic stuff. You know? I mean, yeah, it looks all high tech and stuff because I've got these cool little tools and things, but all I'm doing is typing. It's doing anything exciting. But you know, stick with the basics. Get really good at the basics, and once you get good at the basics, you find out that the advanced stuff you don't even need it.
Yeah.
You know, I used to use green screens and do all of that stuff, and I can do it, and I've got the software to do it. I haven't used a green screen, Yusuf, now for probably 3 or 4 years.
That's good.
And I've got a permanent green screen. There's a green screen right on that wall.
Right.
It's there all the time.
Yeah.
I don't use it.
And sometimes I find it, I don't know, maybe that's where the ethical belief system comes in, depends on person to person. But sometimes when people put like a green screen and they're at the office, but they're not, I'm like, why you have to have a picture of your office? We know you're not there.
What, like that green screen picture behind you?
Yeah. Of the office, and you're not the office. You can see the head is bigger than the background. You know?
Exactly.
You know? So like why? If it's a joke, it's different. I know one of my fitness clients. He's a joker. He's funny. I mean, he does it on purpose. And when I went live with him, what I did, everyone has like the regular home, and one of them putting like different, like the green screen. I put like a bunch of people with the hazmat for the corona chasing. I was like working out. So,
That's
but
funny.
you know, when people talk about the cosmetic of things, I'm not disagreeing with how the production has to be great. Of course, it has to be great. I mean, look at Gary Vee and look at my friend Saulo is amazing. I mean, he does all these live streaming with 4K quality, and it's super high production. Of course, it's very cool. If you look at Lori and David from Live Streaming Pros, they sell and produce high quality stuff, and that's the market. That's what they do. But you know me. I mean, I build things on bootstrapping, right? So I don't want to scare people that yes, sometimes you need all this equipment, but in the beginning, the most important thing is your audience and your content. That's it. You gotta build that audience. If you have a good content, even though the quality might be normal, once you build enough, right, then you generate this loyalty of followers that can pay you, and you're making some money. Use that money and invest it back in the production of your live streaming.
Sure.
Make sense?
But even if it's not your main business, you should do stuff like that. You know, and that I want to take it back to the full circle. You know, when we were talking about roofing companies and cancer care centers and yoga instructors and all of that, stick with what your main business is and produce the content to supplement your main business. Right now that we're all homebound and stuff like that, you know, now's a great time to be creating all this content.
Right.
Take a couple of extra hours because we have it. You know, people who have normal jobs or businesses, brick and mortars, where they're having to commute for an hour and a half, 2 hours. If you're in California, 4 hours sometimes. You've got all this extra time now.
Yeah.
Use that commuting time to produce your content and do it for as far ahead as you can. So
yeah. And you know, Brian, here's another thing I want to share with you, because for people that start as a beginner and you never tried it, it is okay for your video to suck. Okay, it's not a problem. You don't have to feel bad about it. We did it, okay? And
I'm not going to feel bad about it at all.
Yeah, but what I do call out people like these so-called late night show folks, right, with all the high production stuff. Now when they do live, I'm like, you can't even use the regular phone to do live properly. Like, what the heck? Now you have a lot of money. I'm gonna make fun of you.
Back when we first started building websites, you know, when Flash was cool and animated GIFs were cool and all of that, there also was a phrase that said, just because you can doesn't mean you should.
Right. Right.
Like I said, I've got a green screen. I can make this old really cool production and all of that. Just because I can doesn't mean I should. So,
Right.
Yusuf, I appreciate the time, man.
Anytime, brother.
Started out a little bumpy, but hey, what the heck? We can do it again for sure. So, thanks, and we will talk to y'all later. Ciao.
Bye bye, y'all.
All right. Let's see. Stop.